If you're buying ready-made marinara sauce from the store because you don't have hours to simmer a pot of sauce on the stove, then this recipe is for you, because in 15 minutes you will be able to create one of the most authentic, iconic, flavorful sauces in all of Italy, and it will bless far more than just a plate of pasta. So let's get started. To get the best flavor from your sauce, there's a couple of key ingredients, and one of them is choosing the right type of tomatoes. So I'll show you which ones we use. You want to select some canned tomatoes that are called San Marzano. And the San Marzano tomatoes have a lower acidity and they just have a nice texture, and they're so perfect for making sauce. If you can't find San Marzano, the second best choice is just whole peeled tomatoes. And these are usually Roma tomatoes, or plum tomatoes as they're often called, and this will also give you a very nice sauce, so you can use either. And then thirdly, you can also use passata, and this is just strained tomatoes, and you can find these usually in the import section of your grocery store or wherever they sell pasta sauce. And if you like a smoother texture, this would be the way to go, but the sauce turns out great with the strained tomatoes as well. We'll start by pouring our tomatoes into a bowl and use a fork or a potato masher to break them down. This leaves some chunks in there for a nice rustic texture. Then we're going to add about 5 cloves of garlic, and you'll want to finely chop these up to get that gorgeous garlic flavor. Next, heat your pan to medium heat and pour in some olive oil, and don't be shy with it. About 5 or 6 tablespoons or so is what you'll need. Now add in your garlic, and you'll want to be careful with it and keep it moving around, and only cook it for about 30 seconds or so that it doesn't burn. Add in the tomatoes and about a tablespoon of oregano. Stir it gently and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Now at this stage you can add some salt or a little bit of chili pepper if you want some heat. And the flavor of this sauce is very tomato forward. It's much brighter, the consistency is different, and the tomato flavor is very much like, yes, we are in the house. And if we give this a little taste, magnifico. After about 15 minutes, you'll see that the sauce separates and it's slow to come together when you run a spoon through it. And if you like it a little thicker, let it simmer for another 5 or 10 minutes. Now all that's left is to make some tagliatelle and serve it up with some fresh basil or parsley. Use any leftover sauce to dip your bread into, or use it to level up your steak, chicken, or fish. Now the exact region of Italy where marinara sauce originated is unclear, because Neapolitans say it was invented in Naples and Sicilians say it was invented in Sicily, but it was certainly in and around that region where this wonderful sauce was created. And it was invented right around the time that the tomato was introduced to Italy through the Spanish conquistadors. Now the term marinara translates into of the sea or seafarer in Italian. And there's a couple of stories as to how this sauce was incorporated into the lives of fishermen. Some say that the ingredients to make this sauce lasted well on the ships, more so than meat or fish or other ingredients that they had. And it was a substantial meal that they could whip up in a short amount of time. The other story was that this was a sauce that the wives of fishermen made, so that when they knew that their husbands would be coming home from the fishing ships, this was something that they could quickly prepare that would be a substantial and filling, nutritious meal. But whatever the story is, the fact remains that this sauce is simple, it's bursting with flavor, it's easy to make, full of nutrition, and if you make it, I guarantee it will knock your socks off and it'll be way better than anything that you can buy in the store. To make meal planning easy, you can make a double or triple batch of this to enjoy later in the week because it'll store in the fridge nicely for 5 or 6 days, or it'll keep in the freezer for a few months. Now, when I asked my mom about how she made this recipe, it was just one that she had in her head, and it was the same one that my nonna had in her head. So it goes back generations. And the method that I shared today was the traditional Neapolitan method with just those ingredients that I listed. But if you're a purist, that's how you'll make it. And if you're not, you can certainly add other things to it, like onions. You can add mushrooms or whatever else to enhance the flavor. But having this sauce as a staple in your kitchen will give you so many opportunities to enhance the flavor of other dishes as well. And you will never have to buy marinara sauce again because it is so good to make from scratch. I sure appreciate having the opportunity to share a little more of my Italian culture with you. Take care, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.